Yo, glad to see you back. This is gonna be short and sweet. The acousticness hit because it's cold out here in Texas, and I'm skinny and I don't do cold. It's gonna be short and sweet, is what I was trying to say. So, I'm starting on this car finally. This is the one you've seen in the background in the garage since the Monte Carlo was done, aside from one little thing. This car specifically has a Gen 4 engine, but it's using a Gen 3 ECU and harness. And you're thinking, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Well, what I'm trying to tell you is, if you don't have what I'm about to show you, you can't do that. You can't run it. There's no way to run a Gen 3 ECU with a Gen 4 engine. You're like, okay, Anthony, why? Get to the point. Well, okay, give me a second. Because the Gen 4 engine has something on the crank called a reluctor wheel, which your Gen 3 engine has too. But the difference is Gen 4 has a 58 tooth reluctor wheel. If you don't know what a reluctor wheel is, it's best to just go to Google and get as much information through Google rather than me trying to tell you the scientific stuff, because I'm acoustic and I don't get that far into it. It's a piece of metal on the back of the back of the crank, not the transmission, that spins like this. I'm just saying. I'm just giving this a broad description. So don't come at me in the comments if you know your stuff. It is, to me, just to let you know if you're new, it's kind of like your distributor. It spins and it sends your sensors. Your sensors read it while it's spinning, and it reads the teeth on it, and it does your spark stuff and your timing stuff. So that's the easiest way to put it. If you want to really know the specifics of what it does and what the sensors read off of it, it's best to Google it, because I'm not your guy that's going to give you that info. But Gen 4 is 58 tooth reluctor wheel. Gen 3 is 24 tooth. So with that being said, you can't, a Gen 3 ECU is set up to read 24 tooth. There's no way to change it in the tune that I've personally seen or found. If you can do that, I apologize for spreading misinformation, which I'm not trying to do. I'm just saying I haven't found that. I haven't seen that. But you can't take a Gen 4 24 tooth reluctor wheel ECU and just stick it onto a Gen 4 58 tooth reluctor wheel engine, plug it in, and it runs. It's not going to happen. So what you need is this Lingenfelter box. And as it reads 58 tooth to 24 tooth. Meaning this box tells the Gen 3 ECU that is hooked up to the Gen 4 engine, it's like, hey bro, I actually have a 24 tooth reluctor wheel, not 58 tooth, so let's run it. And it's like, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. And bam, turn the key and it starts. And all you do is you take you got your power wire that powers it up, and of course you got your ground wire. And you hook those up how you hook them up, and then you just take, so this is your cam sensor plug, tells you cam in. This should be your crank sensor plug, and then you got a cam out, sorry. So cam and crank sensors are the only ones that this uses. So you'll plug this into the cam sensor on your Gen 4 engine. Is going to be you're supposed to come with me, is going to be right here. Oh, sorry, wasn't recording. Come on, plug. Okay, never mind, it doesn't want to go in. But cam sensor into there, crank sensor into there, and then the harness itself will plug in. The harness cam sensor will plug into this plug, and the harness crank sensor will plug into this plug, and that's it. And it tells you what it does, and then the status if it works. This will be the first time I've used one of these, but I've seen them over the years. I've heard good and bad things, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any other ones out there. There might be by now, but I never really pay attention to them because I really only mess with Gen 3 stuff, so I have absolutely no need for this. But say you get a Gen 4 engine for stupid cheap, and you don't want to spend $1,500 on the Holley Terminator kit for a Gen 4 engine, and you would prefer to use a cheaper harness like Amazon or BP Automotive. Well, I say cheaper harness, BP Automotive. BP Automotive is expensive, but it's great for what you get for the price. Amazon, if you've been around the channel enough, you know it's cheap, $99. But you want to take that cheap Gen 4 engine that you got, and you don't want to spend a couple thousand just to get the harness and computer system to do it. You just get that 275 Lingenfelter box, $75 Lingenfelter box. Hook up your Gen 3 ECU and your Gen 3 harness, and there you go. I don't know why my camera keeps getting dark, but yep, it's fairly simple. You'll see me do it on this car. I made it its own video because once I talk about this in the video, or in the video of doing this, it's kind of going to get lost in there, and it would probably be in. I just figured this would be a good standalone video for just specifically this, so I don't have to repeat myself. But I'm sure I'm going to have to repeat myself. But yeah, that is it. So if you're able to find a cheap Gen 4 engine, which it is not easy to do unless you live up north. Here in the south, everything is expensive LS related, so I just happened to get lucky, but I'm not going to be using that Gen 4 engine. This customer just happened to use a Gen 4 engine, so I'm able to give you guys some information that hopefully is helpful. And like I said, this will be the first time I'm using it, so as we go along in that video, when I work on that car, if there's any issues, you know, we'll work it out together. But yeah, I just wanted to bring you guys into that. I think that's it. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. You're more than welcome to ask me some questions in the comments, but just don't ask me a question that I have 8 videos on the channel already. So I appreciate it if you just kind of click the video button or my videos button and just kind of scroll, and I guarantee you a lot of answers are in those videos. But appreciate you watching. Hope this was nice and quick enough. I will see you guys on the what does that say? Cutlass Supreme. I'll see you guys when we get to that. So go build some, or wait for me to do it and laugh at me. But see y'all next time.